All right, there's a couple books I want to revisit for our annotated bibliography. We talked about reading Freedom in Congo Square. I don't remember if we read the whole book. I don't think we did, but I think we were supposed to talk about it because it's also in our textbook. So this is Freedom in Congo Square by Carol Boston Weatherford. The publisher is Little B Books, and it's illustrated by Gregory Christie. It's won the Cardis King Award and the Caldecott Award. And if you remember any of our little discussions about the end papers, so the cover and back page of that the same as the other thing, and then this is the end papers. I don't know if that, we'll see if we figure out what that is. I want to say it looks like a basket weaving, but I don't know. Mondays there were hogs to slop, mules to train, and logs to chop. Slavery was no ways fair. 6 more days to Congo Square. Tuesdays there were cows to feed, fields to plow, and rows to seed. A moment without work was rare. 5 more days to Congo Square. Wednesdays there were beds to make, silver to shine, and bread to bake. The dreaded lash, too much to bear. 4 more days to Congo Square. Thursdays there were clothes to clean, floors to scrub, and babes to wean. Spirituals rose from the despair. 3 more days to Congo Square. Fridays there were crops to pick, trees to prune, and walls to brick. Run away, some slaves dared. 2 more days to Congo Square. Saturdays there were beans to can, hens to pluck, and folks to fan. Freedom was slaves' ardent prayer. 1 more day to Congo Square. Week in, week out, from sun to sun, always more chores to be done. And even as the plantation slept, wood was on, the fire kept. But Sunday was a day of rest, when master charmed the weekend guests. Slaves head off one afternoon when the law allowed them to commune. They flocked to New Orleans, Congo Square. Sundays, slaves and free met there. It was a market and a gathering ground where African music could resound. Beneath the sun and the open air, the crowd abuzz with news to share. Grouped by nation, language, tribe, they drummed ancestral roots alive. They played triangles, gourds, and bells, banzas, flutes, fiddles, and shells. Women in gauze, silk, and percale, men in fringe and furry tails, shook tambourines and shouted chants as rhythms fueled a spirited dance. They rejoiced as if they had no cares, half day, half free, in Congo Square. This piece of earth was a world apart. Congo Square was freedom's heart. Now, in the beginning of the book, which probably with young children I wouldn't start with the beginning of the book, but I would read it as the teacher so I understood what I was talking about. And with different children as they reread it, I might say, oh, you want to hear what this foreword says? It also has a dedication by Carol Boston Weatherford, the author, who writes, to all who yearn for freedom, in memory of my great-grandfather, Isaac Copper, USCT, a co-founder of Unionville, Maryland. All right, so this foreword is by Freddie Williams and he is a historian and Congo Square expert. Find out more about her at freddieevans.com. Congo Square is an open space located within Louis Armstrong Park in New Orleans, Louisiana. Many events have taken place there during New Orleans history, including ball games, circus performances, fireworks shows, and police drills. But it was the music, songs, and dances performed by enslaved Africans on Sunday afternoons that made Congo Square known worldwide. These Africans had been captured in West and Central West Africa, separated from their families, placed in chains aboard slave ships, and brought to the new land as property. Some were also brought from the West Indies and other parts of the United States. In New Orleans, they worked Mondays through Saturdays from sunup to sundown, clearing swamps, cutting roads, building houses, growing crops, washing, cooking, cleaning, and whatever else they were told. But based on a law called the Code Noir, Sundays were holy days. They were to be work-free and set aside for worship. In addition to attending church, some enslaved people used that time off to earn money by growing and selling food, hunting, fishing, or working for their owners and other people. On Sunday afternoons, people of African heritage, both enslaved and free, came together to enjoy themselves. They met at different places in the city until a law made Congo Square the only place they could meet. There were formed circles around groups of dancers and musicians in different parts of the square. Inside those circles, musicians played instruments like the ones they knew in their homelands, including different kinds and sizes of drums, along with string and wind instruments. The dances originated in parts of the West and Central West Africa and included the Kalinda, Bambula, Juba, and the Congo. I'm sure I just butchered the pronunciation of some of those. Those who stood around joined in by clapping, singing, and shaking gourd rattles. At Congo Square, enslaved people who had lived in other states as well as other parts of Louisiana introduced different styles of songs, dances, and instruments, including European styles. Over time, the intermingling of the different African, Caribbean, and European styles led to the development of new styles, including jazz music, which is now performed around the world, the music for jazz funerals and for second line dancing and parades, along with the music of Mardi Gras Indians, all began in New Orleans and all based on the style called jazz. Congo Square was based on the National Register of Historic Places in 1993, and a historical marker was erected there in 1997. Although Congo Square has been its unofficial name since the mid-1800s, it has held many other names including Place Publique, Circus Square, Congo Plains, and Beauregard Square. In 2011, the New Orleans City Council passed an ordinance that made Congo Square the official name of this national landmark. Today, thanks to the Congo Square Preservation Society, New Orleanians of all ages and backgrounds, along with visitors from all parts of the world, come together in Congo Square on Sundays. There they enjoy the freedom of expressing themselves by singing, dancing, drumming, playing other instruments of their choice. If you are ever in New Orleans on a Sunday afternoon, feel free to join in.